All right, hello and welcome to Mewoosh Guitar School. Today we are going to talk about the learning platforms you have at your disposal. What kind of options do you have to learn guitar if you're just trying to learn it for yourself or are willing to pay for some help? So starting at the top, obviously the oldest and most time-tested way of doing it is going to some kind of music school, going to a music store that offers music lessons, or just looking on, whatever, looking in the newspapers, the old way of doing it, Kijiji, Craigslist, I don't know what, for local guitar tutors, and you can find a personal instructor. That's, of course, a matter of driving to guitar class Tuesdays and Thursday nights or whatever it is, and, of course, you're paying per lesson. The benefit to this is you have direct accountability for your performance, and not just that you're playing the right notes or that you're learning chords, but that you're actually using the correct techniques. If there's something that you're doing that is going to limit or hinder you, you might not have any other way of knowing if somebody doesn't tell you. And so having a personal instructor is useful for that, and there's almost no substitute for that. Another option is video series, getting books. This is all self-instruction, and I'm referring to the stuff that you can pay for. So buying video lessons, buying books, all that kind of thing. You're still sort of paying for it. Now, there's online lessons, which are going to be a very similar thing. You're just consuming media, but you're at least watching videos and hearing stuff and not just looking at a book, right? But the couple options that you have out there, Fender Play has a subscription. It's $10 a month, and there's all sorts of videos. And of course, they've got a lot of money behind them, so they're very well produced. Jam Play and Artist Works are another options. Those are, I think, $20 a month. Artist Works, if I'm correct, I've never actually used the service, but these guys have professionals that will you submit videos of your performance, and then these guys reply back. And I understand Paul Gilbert's one of the guys that is one of the instructors there. So give you an idea of the kind of, the level of quality that you're paying for. YouTube videos. That's where you are today. This is free. In a YouTube, you're going to find, just by watching videos, watching whatever it is you normally watch, you're going to come across an instructor that you like or don't like. And if you like an instructor, you're going to keep watching other videos of theirs. So hopefully you like the way I explain stuff. It's the same sort of material, except my perspective is going to differ from others. You may get a lot out of the way I talk and the way I instruct, or the way that I'm envisioning things and teaching it, or it just may not resonate with you at all. So you at least have the world of options out there, and you can pick whichever one you like, and the benefit is free. However, there is almost no feedback at all. Again, you're just watching videos and looking up stuff, but then you can sort of search out stuff that you want. And I don't know exactly how regimented these other sites are in terms of following a very specific program, or just, looking up, I want to learn chords. Well, here's a bunch of chords. I want to learn noodling or shredding. Well, okay, here's a bunch of stuff you need to know about that, right? Now, the last free option is Tab. If you know what Guitar Tab is, it's basically a text way of showing musical information without you having to actually know any music. You just need to know how to count. So you've got the strings laid out. The low E is at the bottom of the view, the high E is at the top of the view. So this is sort of compatible with the view of your own guitar neck that you get. And guitar books have been drawing chords in this way for a long time. Often the strings are vertical, but even when the strings are horizontal, the chord shape is still very easily translatable, transformable in the mind. So when you're looking at Guitar Tab, let's look at a couple examples. Now, where I got my start, I learned fifth chords, and I learned where I needed to play them for what songs I needed to play, and then I was up on stage playing fifth chords and singing. So I played rhythm in a high school band, And that was as much as I needed to know because I had fun. I was enjoying what I was doing. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. And so that's as far as I went. It was a very limited experience. And the problem is if I got in trouble, like missed the note or wasn't looking, and then I was on the wrong string or the wrong fret, and then I messed up, I had a hard time getting back on track and had a small like mental panic on stage because I screwed up. So by not knowing any music theory, I couldn't fix a problem if I accidentally went off the strings or went off the frets properly. You know what I mean? So this was not the best way of doing it. I didn't really know anything about what I was doing. I just needed to know, I just knew enough to do what I was doing. But that, as I say, it's very limiting. So the next thing that I taught myself was tab, particularly how to tab out songs for myself. So this is an example of guitar tab that I wrote for myself. I don't know how long ago this was, but I just started, when I heard a song that I thought, oh, that's cool, I'm going to see if I can figure out what notes are being played there and then tab it out. And then once I had, I could start playing riffs to songs that I couldn't before because I had a way of visualizing it, which is what was missing in my high school band days. So here's a copy of tab that I did for Rare Earth. Now here's another problem with tab. Tab is not particularly consistent, and if you go online you can often get tab that's incorrect. So some of the stuff that I've tabbed out here is not exactly right. It's not precise to the original recordings necessarily. Plus there are some forms of notation in tab that I'm not following because I just picked something that worked for me, and it's not exactly consistent from one song to the next or from one little thing that I did, because it's mostly just riffs that I wrote down. But this is Rare Earth Celebrates, a great song. And you can see that I've got the dashes, those are the guitar strings, the low E is at the bottom, high E is at the top, and then I'm showing what string and what note to play. So I've also got asterisks, which I was marking out where the downbeats were. It's actually the 1 and 3. So there's 2 bars there, and I'm not really showing where the bars are. I'm just showing where the notes are and on what strings. And then whenever you see notes that are grouped vertically, at the back there, that's 3 notes played together. So anything that's vertically stacked in any way, you play those notes at the same time. So here's what this song sounds like. And then there's guitar 2, and I'm not sure if this is actually accurate, but it's just another place on the neck where you can play it. And I love that little doodad at the end. Here's another example. This is Kim Mitchell, Rock and Roll Duty. So let's see what this one sounds like. Alright, we're going to cut it there. We're going to talk about the software platforms that you have available to you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. There is more to come. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching.